Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Hope you are okay on that side of the screen. And today with the Sony ZV1. We took a look at the ZV1-F a few weeks ago. I will leave a link right over here so that you can check it out. It is, in terms of vlogging, my favorite camera at this moment. Simply as that. And I would say that we've got three different cameras right over here. The ZV1-F that we have reviewed, as I said. The ZV1 that we will be comparing today with the ZV1-F, and I'm using my favorite camera, which is my ZV-E10. Three different cameras with three different purposes, but all of them with a great image quality. And before we start talking about things that are the same, things that are different, I would say that ZV1-F is clear, in my opinion, the best suitable camera of these three for the vlogger. If you want a simple camera, lightweight, with a short fixed lens with a really nice image quality, then the ZV1-F would be my choice. If you want something to record a third person, or if you want to record a scene or something like that where you need to change your line of sight and you don't want to move from your position, then you will need probably a zoom lens, and in that particular case the Sony ZV1 is still the best option for that scenario because it has 24mm to 7mm in terms of lens. On the other hand, if you are looking for something for your fixed position where you will just place it and then do as I do, talk to the camera and probably move around with the tripod here and there, then in my opinion the ZV-E10 is the best option in terms of this price range, of course, because it will give me the freedom to exchange lenses and to put all the accessories. At this moment, just for comparison, I'm using the Sigma 16mm with aperture of 1.4, but I could at any time change the lens. By the way, at this moment I'm recording with my lapel microphone with the ZV-E10, but when you watch this picture right over here, the sounds is exactly what we get without any microphone at all. In a few days I will share with you something that I'm using for a vlogging setup, which is great for the ZV1 and ZV1-F, so right over here, and I will try to leave links down below, but the video will be out soon. Now let's dive in after this long intro. ZV1 and ZV1-F share the same CMOS sensor, so the same size, same image quality, same megapixels. The difference being that on the ZV1 we can record in terms of pictures JPEGs and RAW, and on the ZV1-F we can only record on JPEG. This screen is articulated on the three models, of course, which is great. I can point it at me and have the picture that I'm recording in terms of vlog or in terms of positioning the camera to record my video, which is just great. But the ZV1-F has the advantage that finally it has a full touch screen, and that is just great. The experience that I had was awesome, the best that I've used on a Sony camera, and it's really a game changer. Now it also has the new menu layout, and if you ask me, hey Robert, do you think it's better, do you think it's worse, I would say that's neither. It's not better or worse, it's different. I enjoy using it, and the changes that it has does not bother me at all, because I don't feel as a change, just because I've got a touch screen, which is really nice, really easy and simple to use, so everything is really accessible. And this is, in my opinion, one of the great advantages and probably one of those factors that will be a decision maker. Both of them record at 4K 30 frames per second, which is what we're doing right now, and they also can record up to 1080 at 130. We can put in external microphones. We can also connect a HDMI output, which will give us a clean HDMI output, and we can charge while recording, which is what I'm doing with the ZV1. I'm also doing always with my power bank on my ZV-10, which we can record for a long time without depleting the battery, and also with the ZV1-F. The difference is that on the ZV1 we have micro USB, and on the ZV1-F we have USB Type-C. ZV-E10 is also USB Type-C. The body is very similar, but is a bit different. The ZV1-F is a bit taller, a bit wider, and a bit larger. not much. But for those that already have the ZV1, if you are getting the ZV1-F as an upgrade, for example, or as a secondary camera, the cages will not work for both, so we will need different cages. ZV1 outside the house, and a few weeks ago, I will leave a link right over here, we took a look on the ZV1-F, and I was curious to revisit the ZV1 on the same conditions. No stabilization on. A few weeks ago we took a look on the catalyst browse, so we know what we can do afterwards. But just to have an idea of what we can get compared with the ZV1-F, at this moment we are at 24 millimeters, which is the widest that this lens can do, and with no stabilization on. The sky is blowing away, at least in some areas, but this is it with no stabilization on, and we are recording with the wind muffler on. Stabilization on, arm completely stretched, and here we are, ZV1, and let's compare. Now, one of the advantages that I see on the ZV1-F is that it doesn't have the retractable lens, so it has 20 millimeters, while here we have 24 with the retractable lens, and this can be seen as an advantage or disadvantage depending on the type of video that we do. For this kind of vlog style video, I do believe that the ZV1-F will be superior in this particular case. It's simpler. When we turn it on, we don't need to wait for the lens to get in and get out, so it's just a simpler way to do our videos. And as I was talking, this is stabilization on the ZV1 with 24 mils. And the price of the ZV1-F is a factor to have in mind as well, because it's lower than the ZV1. Probably because the lens is not retractable, is fixed, and that is able to lower the price, which is great for vloggers that don't need the lens. Now, the price includes a grip, which is a Bluetooth grip that we can use to start shooting and take pictures and so on and so forth, which is really awesome as well. ZV1 has a ND filter, while the ZV1-F doesn't, and the ZV1-F has a feature which is, in my opinion, also really nice, which is the ability to put the tripod, and we will also have space to open the door for the battery, and especially the replacement of the SD card, which the ZV1 doesn't. At this moment I'm using this tripod, which is one of the thinnest and lightest tripods that I have, but even though I'm using this one, I will not be able to open the door, so I need to unscrew, and then it's wasting time. There are solutions for the ZV1, which is the same that I use on the ZV-E10, which is a cage, and then I can access the door to open and remove the battery, which I don't need, but I need to remove the SD card. But on the ZV1-F, that comes built in. And the biggest difference, in my opinion, that will be a matter of choice, it is the lens. Now, on the ZV1-F, it's a fixed lens of 20mm at 2.0, and on the ZV1 it's a 24 to 70mm 1.8 to 2.8 zoom lens, and this will be, in my opinion, the factor that will make the difference. If I'm a vlogger, I will go certainly for the ZV1-F because it's lighter and I don't need the extra money on a zoom lens. But if I want to vlog, and of course I also want to film third-person type of movie, then the ZV1 will be the choice to get. And then all the factors that we have seen, menus, touchscreen, and so on and so forth, will become a secondary factor that we will have in mind. But in my opinion, the lens will make that difference. And now just a small comparison between the Sony ZV1 and the iPhone 12 mini. We have done the same with the Sony ZV1-F. High dynamic range the last time, and the weather was more or less like it is today. The iPhone was doing a better job. No editing at all. Of course, we can get better results on both of them, but this is without any editing. And the Sony camera was doing a good job, but the iPhone was doing a better job. Now, in terms of lighting, we have good lighting conditions, although it's a winter day. But if we down the light, then the Sony will show its superiority in terms of the sensor will give us a better image. In conclusion, I would say that for vlogging, the ZV1-F is the winner. If we are talking about a hybrid that we can vlog, but we can also shoot third-person images from a distance without moving from our spot, then the ZV1 is the choice. And on the other hand, if we want something stationary that we can just set up and leave it like that, and if we want to move here around and whatnot, the ZV-E10 is the winner because it has a factor that is the lens that I can change that will give me the best option of all, but all of them are great choice. And hopefully with this video you were able to see the image quality of the ZV1 comparing with the ZV-E10, and with that hopefully I was able to help on your decision. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget that usual thumbs up right over there, which is really appreciated on this side of the screen. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.